Hey Greg, I hope you're all having a great day. Welcome back to another episode of 2 for the Price of Fun. Because today's video is not going to just be covering one topic, it's going to be covering 2 topics. There are some parts of Instagram, like Instagram comedians and stuff like that are worth making an entire video about just one topic. But every now and again, I just find little nuggets, like little tiny pieces, little chunks, tiny little pieces of content that are not big enough for an entire video devoted to it. So today I decided I would take 2 of those things and use them to make one mega video. Also, real quick, this video is sponsored by Squarespace, so if you go to squarespace.com/Danny or visit the link in the description, you can get 10% off your first order. I don't know if anybody else has noticed this as much as I have, but the ads for mobile games on Instagram are just awful. Let me give you an example of one. So I don't really know what this game is, but it looks like it has something to do with numbers, but the caption is, "Are you math enough?" It's an age-old question. Are you math enough to solve this problem? In high school, I was actually pretty math, but since then, I've sort of fallen off and I've become a little bit less math, so I don't know if I'd be quite math enough for this game. Every ad on Instagram for a mobile game just looks like the most generic game that took like 2 minutes to make, and then it just has the most bizarre caption. Like this game, you pilot this little ship and you try not to get hit, and the caption is, "If you score 200, you're legally skilled." Legally skilled? Like what, you get an identification card and if any cops pull you over and they're like, "Hey, do you have any idea how fast you were driving?" You can pull it out and be like, "No, officer, I'm legally skilled. It's all right." And he'll be like, "Oh, I'm sorry. You're really good at video games. I didn't know. I'm so sorry." A lot of these games don't even seem very fun or very difficult. Like, I feel like this game I would be able to play indefinitely because it's so easy. So this game, there's a little stick man and he's holding 2 rocks, and one rock has a real word on it and one word has a word that's made up. It's just random letters put together. And you have to decide which one's the real word, and you have to tap the real word. Who wouldn't be good at this game? Like, some of these words, look at the next one that comes up. It's either cup or cnp. C-N-P. Okay, cnp. Fuck! Okay, eat or A-E-T? Eat? No! And the caption is, "Do not play this at dinner." Whatever you do not play this at dinner. This game will get you so angry that you'll, I don't know, throw up? Why wouldn't you want to play this at dinner? I guess because it's rude to play games at dinner? Is that the reason? In that case, you shouldn't play any games at dinner. The caption should just say, "Hey, don't pick up your phone at dinner." Maybe this ad wasn't even promoted by the people who made the game. Like, some girl promoted this on Instagram because her boyfriend's addicted to this app and won't pay attention to her at dinner. Don't play this at dinner, Jonathan. I miss you. If that's the case, whatever girl promoted this, if you're watching this, just break up with him. If he doesn't know the difference between cup and CNP, he's a loser. You can do better. I think you can pull yourself a mans who knows how to spell cup. This one's the same game as before, but it says, "If you score 200, you're legally allowed to leave." Maybe I wasn't supposed to see this ad, and this is meant to be targeted towards, like, I don't know, inmates in the US prison system or something, and on the off chance they see this, they'll download the game hoping they can get out early. Or maybe it's the same thing as the legally skilled card. Like, you have a legal get out of jail free card or something. Like, if you're at a restaurant and the waiter hands you the bill, you can just be like, "Actually, I'm legally allowed to leave, so bye." Here's another app. It's a different game, but the caption is the same. "If you bounce 10 times, you're legally skilled." Why does every mobile game on Instagram have the same marketing strategy? And why is the marketing strategy the dumbest strategy I've ever seen? It's like, I don't know, can we confuse them into downloading the app? Like, they're just trying to make people think, what the fuck does legally skilled mean? I gotta download this app to find out. Did one app just start doing these and they all just followed suit because they thought, "Oh, it must be working for this person. We should all make really bad, weird captions for our games." This one is my favorite by far, though. It's some game where you collect plants or something, but the caption is, "I hate my boyfriend, and I just left him when I discovered this game." There's so many questions I have. If he's your boyfriend, why do you hate him? Why didn't you break up with him? I mean, I guess you did, but why did it take this game coming along to make you leave him? And what was that conversation like? "Jonathan, I'm leaving you." What? Why? This is so out of the blue. There's someone else, isn't there? Actually, yeah, there is. It's a game about collecting plants. I found it on Instagram. Also, I hate you. Now this next part of Instagram that I want to talk about is something I've talked about before. It's fun fact Instagram accounts. This is a part of Instagram that I feel like is endless fun. There's just an endless supply of facts that were made by 3-year-olds or people who don't speak English or people who just make up bullshit facts that aren't real because they want to get more likes on Instagram. Or all of the above. I've made a video about these accounts before, but I just keep finding so many that I wanted to make another video about it because they're so good. A man in Washington State found a caterpillar that looks like it has an image of a human face on its back. The internet is pretty sure it's Edgar Allan Poe. Okay, the internet is pretty sure that it is Edgar Allan Poe. Not the internet thinks the picture looks like Edgar Allan Poe. The internet is pretty sure that is Edgar Allan Poe's face on that caterpillar, or that this caterpillar is Edgar Allan Poe. In animals, only cats can see a ghost. If your cat is staring in the air, they're usually staring at a ghost. If a cat is staring off into space, like if your cat is zoned out, it's usually staring at a ghost. I mean, 9 times out of 10, when your cat's just staring, it's at a ghost. This one's called Why You Shouldn't Stand and Drink Water. We have always heard that our elders say, do not drink water in the standing position, but we often neglect and gulp water rapidly. I can't tell you how many times this has happened. I'm just trying to take a sip of water and my grandpa's like, you know, you shouldn't drink water standing up. And I'm like, get lost, old man. I gulped that water down so rapidly. But according to Ayurveda, when you stand and drink water, your nerves are in a state of tension. This creates problem, like arthritis and joint damage comes into play. This could also give rise to severe heart problems. Even now, medical science had to agree to this. Please do avoid drinking water in the standing position. It might take a few extra minutes, but it's best to sit down peacefully and then drink water. It might take a few extra minutes? How long does it take you to sit? Time to drink some water. This'll be worth it in the long run. Imagine going to a party where everybody's drinking, everybody's like standing around having a good time sipping, but every time you take a sip, you sit down. So you're like talking to a friend and you're like, hey, how's the wife and kids doing anyway? Yeah, that's great to hear. Okay, this one's kind of sweet. Father, that bank account to which you never deposit a penny, but can withdraw a whole lot amount you want anytime and anywhere. Aw, that's kind of sweet. Mother, someone who sees the best in you, even when you put her in trouble. Even when you put your mother in trouble? When do you put your mother in trouble? Ah, yeah, I remember all those times growing up as a kid when I would get caught copying my homework from someone else and I would tell the teachers that my mom made me do it. Or just the other day when the police came into my house because they were looking for a missing child and I told them that it was locked in my mother's basement. Your mother will love you no matter how much trouble you get her in. Hell, I might fuck around and accuse my mother of treason, I don't know. Brother, a person who is there when you need him, someone who picks you up when you lose your friend forever. And sister, a shadow of your mother who knows your every inch. What? Theory of life. When flood comes, the fish eat ants. But when the water dries, the ants eat fish. Life gives chance to everyone. Just have to wait for your turn. Okay, that's great and everything, but when do I get to eat the ants? I've been waiting my turn for too goddamn long and I want to eat those ants. If you don't like scary things, you might want to turn this off now because this next fact is pretty spooky. Today's topic: ghosts. Spirits have the ability to affect you mentally, physically, and emotionally. I like that it says it so matter-of-factly, like this is proven stuff here, guys. Everybody knows this, it's science. Spirits tend to be concentrated in places that have experienced a lot of death or birth? What? Wait, so there's like ghosts of babies that were just born but didn't die? So like, where does the ghost come from? No ghost has ever been confirmed, caught, and or examined by anyone or anything. Therefore, we can't determine its actual characteristics with any amount of certainty. So what the fuck were those previous 2 facts? They're like, there are 3 things that we know for sure about ghosts. They have the ability to affect you mentally, physically, and emotionally. They appear in places where there's a lot of death or birth, and nobody's ever captured one or even seen one. We don't even know if they're real. We all believe that email was invented by the Americans, but that's not true. Email was invented by Shiva Ayadurai, 14-year-old Indian boy in 1978. Let us thank him for the most important invention. Ah yes, the most important invention of all time. Email. It's just like texting, but worse in every way. Thank you, Shiva Ayadurai, for the most important invention. The things that bug me the most about these accounts is that they really like sharing facts that just aren't true. Elephants are the only animal that cannot jump. What about snails? Or worms? Whales? Turtles? Here's a fun fact. Did you know a mother listening to her dead son's heartbeat inside the woman his heart was donated to? You learn something new every day. Here's another one that's definitely not true. This week, an asteroid missed Earth by the distance of 2 times closer than the moon. It could have damaged Earth more than dozens of atomic bombs, but we were able to save Earth because NASA noticed this just minutes earlier. This is just really confusing because, like, the beginning of it makes it seem like the asteroid wasn't even going to hit Earth. It says, this week an asteroid missed Earth by the distance of 2 times closer to the moon. But then it says that we were able to save Earth because NASA noticed? Like, what does that mean? How did they save Earth if it was just passing by? And it also says that they saved Earth just by noticing the asteroid. Like, they were like, oh, whoa, look! Oh, phew. Don't worry, guys, we're fine. Now, I can tell by the pictures on this fact that it's gonna be good. It's a picture of Osama bin Laden and Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. 45 minutes before any major news network had the story, action star Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson broke the news of Osama bin Laden's death on his Twitter page. No one knows how he got this huge, highly sensitive information. Is Osama really dead? Was there really a person named Osama? What kind of conclusions is this jumping to? Let's assume that this is true and that, like, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson tweeted it first, and then the news from everywhere else started to roll in. Like, the president was talking about it, the CIA or FBI confirmed it. That wouldn't mean Osama's not really dead, and it certainly wouldn't mean that there was never a person named Osama. Jonathan was looking after his 5-year-old cousin in Montana. He started telling Jonathan about a creepy man who's been living in his mom and dad's bedroom. Jonathan didn't believe what this little guy said, but every night his little cousin kept telling him the same thing. So he asked that, how does he look like? To which he replied, oh, he doesn't have a face. So this one is weird because I understand what the first picture here is supposed to be. But what's the second picture? Who's that? Because the man doesn't have a face. So is this like Jonathan, the good guy in the story? Or his 5-year-old cousin? Oh, here's a fun one. Today's topic, strange rules in North Korea. So here's a couple little fun facts about quirky, weird rules in North Korea. You know, the United States has some weird rules, like in some state you can't like walk backwards while eating ice cream on a Tuesday. I wonder what they have in North Korea. If one person is found guilty of a crime and sent to a prison camp, so too will their entire family, and the subsequent 2 generations born at that camp must remain there for life. Oh, I found another format of fact accounts. They're called like myth versus truth accounts. So they'll give you a myth that's like a common misconception and then a truth, like this one. The myth is that fish are mute, but the truth is that fish make sounds similar to the noise on a busy farm. And then the fish is yelling, me. Is that a noise on a busy farm? Oh man, I wish I was back on the farm. The sound of the cows mooing, the roosters waking you up in the morning, and the horses just yelling, me! I would think the sound of a busy farm would be like a tractor. You hold up a goldfish really close to your ear and it's just like, ah. But sometimes these myth versus truth facts are just totally not helpful. Like this one. See, there's this myth that mice love cheese, but the truth is that cheese is not their favorite food. So it's like, okay, but what is their favorite food? Like, they don't correct you, really. They just tell you that you were wrong, but they don't tell you what their favorite food is. At least tell me one thing mice love to eat. It'd be like if you're talking to a friend and he's got a mouse problem and he's like, well, maybe I should leave some little cubes of cheese on my mouse traps to catch them. And you just being like, no, that won't work. They don't like cheese. And they're like, oh, okay, well, what should I use then? Is there something that they like more? Well, I don't fucking know. So that's all the facts that I have for today, guys. But now I have a bit of a problem. If you've been watching this channel for a long time, then you're probably a Greg. Gregs are what I call my fans. And if you are a Greg, then you know that we're the fastest growing fan base on YouTube. On the entire internet, actually. But for the longest time, I've always told you guys not to look it up. And that's honestly because I don't really trust any websites out there. Sure, there's things like Social Blade, which give you like accurate data on how fast certain channels are growing. And it even gives you a list of all the fastest growing channels on YouTube, but I kind of think they've been paid off. So for the longest time, I've really been worried about people Googling, is Greg the fastest growing army? But today, That's all about to change because this video is sponsored by Squarespace. Now you guys probably know all about Squarespace already. It's the best place to go when you're looking to design a professional looking website. They have beautiful designer templates, so pretty much any site you could possibly make on their platform will look amazing without really having to do much work. It's an all-in-one platform, so you can get your domain, you can design the website, you can even set up online stores on there. They have great 24/7 customer service, and I've actually used them before a few times myself. And since Squarespace is giving all my Gregs 10% off on their first order using squarespace.com/Danny, I was thinking this is the perfect opportunity to finally make a website that's not biased. We can finally make a website that depicts us for what we are, the fastest growing army on the internet. Squarespace is so easy to use that you can set up a website in minutes. So that's why I need your help. There's a lot of talented Gregs out there, and I would really appreciate the help if you wanted to create a website depicting Greg for what we really are. So if you want to help out Greg, I think making a website that says we're the fastest growing army would be a great place to start. I just picture a day where when you Google, is Greg the fastest growing army, it just comes up with a list of unbiased websites created by my own fans that says that my fans are the fastest growing army. I mean, what's more unbiased than that? So go to squarespace.com/Danny to get 10% off your first order, and if you do happen to make a website, please send it to me. I would love to see it.